Well, as usual, I'm getting ready to do some work here, and Sissy Sue ain't nowhere to be found. I'm sure she's around somewhere. Like I said, she just ain't nowhere to be found. Anyway, I got some stuff on special today. Got some Simply Potatoes. Don't normally buy stuff like that, but, you know, for $1 a bag, and there's like 20 ounces, so it's over a pound in there. I figured I'd dehydrate it and make a really good part of an MRE. And then, yeah, folks, you're seeing that right. It's bologna. I don't like bologna at all, me. But you know what? The fellas do. Jonathan, Bob, and Paul, they like bologna. So, guess what? I'm going to dehydrate that too. And then, I like these refried beans in the bag. I usually just make my own, but you know what? These are so handy sometimes, and they are great to just throw in the backpack. But they're a little bit heavy because this thing weighs over a pound here. Yeah. So I figured I like to dehydrate them because it makes for good in the backpack meals and the MRE meals. So I just open it up, and then I take my nice little spatula and I smooth it out on there. So that's the 3 things I'm going to be dehydrating today. And I put the refried beans on my Paraflex sheets, which are like those Teflon sheets, I guess. So I put that on there. And then the potatoes, and these are Southwestern style hash browns. I just spread them out on my screen. So the pieces are big enough, I think it should be okay. Once it starts drying, it'll probably fall down to the bottom. And I'll stick a piece of parchment paper down in there. So I've got some extra Paraflex sheets in here that I'm going to take out because I was going to do more of the refried beans, but I think I'm going to hold off on the refried beans. I'm doing more refried beans. I got 2 packs right now. So I think I'll do those right now, do up the potatoes, and throw on some of that bologna. And we'll see how all that turns out. If we like it, we'll let you know. And maybe any minute now, Sissy Sue will show on up. I'll show you what the bologna looks like once I get it. I'm going to cut it up in like squares, or well, triangles. I'm going to cut it up into 4s and put it on the sheets. I think it'll dry faster. We'll see. Alrighty, the potatoes, they're looking pretty dry, and they're getting small enough. Some of them are drying up and falling through the screen. That's okay. I got a piece of parchment paper down on the bottom that'll catch them. And that's what the potatoes look like. Excuse me. The beans, the refried beans look like they're getting dry around the edges. Got them a little thick there. I might just mush it out a little closer further. And but they're doing pretty good. If you see, they've only been in there for about less than 2 hours. So, and that's the bologna. So that might be interesting. We'll have to see. I ain't never tried no bologna, so, and that ain't no bologna, I say. All right, this is about 3 hours into it, and give or take. And the beans are coming along nicely. And that's crispy on top, still wet on the bottom, so I'm just kind of moving them around. So we're going to do, well, maybe another hour and a half, I bet, and they'll be done. Now the potatoes, on the other hand, let's see, let's take a look down. Potatoes, well, hot dog. I'm going to give them another 30 minutes. That's about all they need. Ooh, wow, and some spicy Southwest potatoes. Whew. And now let's look at the bologna. Bologna's looking nice and greasy, just like we knew it would. So, I'll come and I'll pat it off with a towel here in a bit. See, it's just really sitting on the top. I'll help dry it off a little bit. But it's starting to get a little beef jerky like too, so we'll see. I'll keep you posted. Well, there's the finished product for the hash browns. Nice and spicy. And I think the bologna's still got a little way to go. Yeah, it's getting pretty leathery. I'm going to dry it off again. And this is getting there. It's almost done. By bedtime, it'll all be done. Alright, let's see. Can we see? Yeah, we can see. Alright, so I just take it and just kind of squeeze it in between a clean cotton towel. And I always keep a bunch of these clean cotton towels around. And then I just put it back on the screen once I got them all done. I'm going to kind of wipe the screen down too, because I'll show you in a second. You've got the screen itself is oily. Whoops. Okay, so I don't know if you can tell, but there's like, yeah, there you go. Oily residue. So I'm going to clean that off and I'll let you see what it looks like when it's done. Alright, there's the dehydrated beans. Nice and crispy now. Moisture's gone. Very lightweight. Got 2 trays. And the bologna is done too. It's kind of like a beef jerky texture. A little bit bendable but dry. So I'll pat it off and I'll seal them up.